I'm Stefan Holt, and this is News 4 Now for Tuesday, October 16th. First, take a look at the weather. It'll be clear and cool tonight. Tomorrow will be mostly cloudy and windy. There's also a chance of showers in the afternoon. Let's get to the news now and begin tonight with a nightmare Uber trip that landed the driver in handcuffs. Federal prosecutors say driver Harbir Parmar took advantage of a woman who fell asleep in his back seat and allegedly changed her destination from White Plains to a spot 180 miles away in Boston. When she woke up, she told prosecutors Parmar was on top of her with his hand under her shirt. Authorities say he then dropped her off on the side of the road in Connecticut. The FBI says he's falsified at least 11 other trips. They're now looking for other passengers who may have been victimized. His attorney said late Tuesday that he is presumed innocent. A sigh of relief for a Brooklyn mother. She was reunited with her 4-year-old son after he disappeared on the subway during the morning rush. This is little Messiah clinging to his mom after he got separated from her Tuesday at the Broadway Junction stop. Police sources say the mom stepped off the train with Messiah and her 3 other children and noticed he was missing once they got to the top of an escalator. Not long after, a Good Samaritan on the train saw him all alone and crying. So he took him to his office, fed him, gave him coloring books, and called 911. Messiah is doing okay and had this message for the people who helped him.
Thank you very much.
It's absolutely skin-crawling. A NYC apartment building has been taken over by rats. Families who live at the Claremont Consolidation Complex say the rodents have been making their way through their homes since the trash compactor in the basement was shut down earlier this week. NYC says it's sealing holes in the basement and doing exterminations, but tenants say they're disgusted by the infestation.
They need to take everybody out this building, and they really need to get to this rat problem in this building.
In Connecticut, police are trying to figure out how a dead newborn ended up in a recycling facility. Workers at City Carting in Stamford were processing materials on Tuesday morning when they found that newborn baby boy. Police say the baby appeared to be full term, but it was too early to say whether he was born alive. Investigators are also trying to pinpoint where the boy was picked up. Finally, delays, creepy commuters, and scary smells. All part of the subway experience, but now the MTA is brewing up something even spookier. Don't worry, it's just for Halloween. It's the first ever haunted subway experience. You can check it out Thursday and Friday at the Union Square station. Should help you forget all about the real-life nightmares like collapsing ceilings and stuck elevators. And that's all for News 4 Now. Stick around after this for a Better Get Becerra report on the battle over those annoying robocalls. I'm Stefan Holt. Thanks so much for watching.
We are calling you from investigation team of IRS.
That's not really the IRS.
Hello, this call is from Microsoft Security Department.
That isn't Microsoft. How do robocallers do it? And why do our phones keep ringing with so many scams?
Over 3,000 calls being made every second to Americans.
Ethan Garr is vice president at Teltec, a New Jersey company that makes an app called RoboKiller.
I would guess 40% of the calls you get on, you could trust the caller ID.
Garr says it's pretty easy for the bad guys to spoof caller ID.
With Spoof Card, you can change your caller ID to any number you want.
Teltec makes an app that lets you choose any number that you want to show up on caller ID because, for instance, a doctor on call might legitimately need to disguise her mobile number. Garr says it's pretty simple to do because caller ID is primitive 1980s technology.
It was a way for people to see who was calling, but it got co-opted over time.
Co-opted, unfortunately, by scammers.
I think our best estimate for last month was around 1.4 billion scam calls made in the U.S.
Alex Colucci is CEO of Umail. For years, Umail has tracked the rapid rise in computer-dialed phone calls and built apps to help people block them. We wondered, why not just ban all robocalls?
We need to have a better definition of what a robocall is.
Some robocalls let you know about fraud alert or a pharmacy refill. Troutman says a robocall ban could hurt companies and consumers. Another challenge to blocking spam calls is our sprawling national phone system.
There are 3,000 carriers in the U.S. There are multiple billions of phone calls every day. To roll out something like that is a pretty massive undertaking.
The good news is they're trying. Right now, carriers and the FCC are developing a caller ID update that'll help you decide whether to trust what the display says. Calls that come in via scammers' preferred route, untrusted overseas phone services, will be flagged with something like a red X. Other calls that come in through a legitimate carrier might get a green check. You decide what to block.